and I think they might be able to take him down. It's a showdown. So the orc's just playing the hit and run game, I guess, until his expansion gets up. Little as you know, I guess that Crafty's expansion is going up right now. This is another thing that's great about the strategy. Since you have such a great tier 2 army, you can set up an expansion just like the orc. And that's why I like the strategy as well. It's very akin to the human strategy of like casters and a rifle caster. I mean, the fiends being the rifles, and like the statues, and the banshees being kind of the casters, and like the beetles are like the summons, the archmage. So if you like that rifle caster stuff, this is kind of in the same vein, and it really allows you to play like a human or something, where you have a strong army. You can walk around the map and look for a fight, and when you have the fight, you can force it. Once you have Impale, your casters are very then you can put up an expansion at tier 2 because your army is so much stronger, because you'll be able to defend it. So it's kind of a more dominating playstyle as opposed to like a harassment-oriented playstyle, but it's a very legitimate playstyle as well. So the orc does not have Dispel yet, and that is very important, because Crafty can actually fight this battle, because he has so many things that the orc cannot dispel. He has the beetles, and he has the banshees cursing everything. And this attack is also helping him to distract Lyn from Crafty's expansion, which is going up right now. Crafty just finished adept training. You want to get adept training on banshees because, first of all, anti-Madchild is really great, and second, it gives him a lot more mana, so he can get a lot more out of these 2 banshees that he has to build, and have more fiends then in their stead. So this is why you get Impale when the orc wants to speed scroll in and kill everything. Well, actually he dispelled it himself, but you can just Impale them, just stop them in their tracks and reposition. Unfortunately, Crafty only has 1 banshee left, but he's really slowing down the progress of Lyn. Like, he's killing all of Lyn's peasants, and he actually town portals here because to prevent further losses. I mean, Lyn just pushed up in food, so Crafty had to teleport to catch up to him, because he was sitting at 50 food before, and Lyn was at like 64 food. Because if they have, then there's kind of no point in fighting a battle unless it is to achieve something like killing peasants or something, which will give you a further economic advantage, and then you can push past 50 food to fight him, which Crafty did there. So again, Crafty is scouting with his beetles. He checked this this red camp to make sure that the orc was not creeping it, because at this point the orc is capable of creeping anything on the map, so why not a red camp? That would have been important, so he could creep check that and nullify any advantage the orc would have gained by creeping that. Another cool trick that Crafty does right here is he puts down Skull of Light. Now, he's not going to be expanding there, but it's kind of an impetus to make the orc, make him scout there. It's another thing for him to check, and it's convenient because you do want to expand there. You do have the Skull of Light waiting there for you. So that's another reason. Yeah, he's got that pair of beetles scouting everything on the map, but he knows where the orc is due to, well, he just lost track of him, but because of an eaten fiend, they always give you the vision of the Kodo, so that helps you know what the orc's doing. Crafty does have many fiends. I mean, the difference between 5 fiends and like 9 fiends or 7 fiends as Crafty has here is not much in terms of damage output, but in terms of tanking damage, it's a lot, because if you take the same care to taking care of those 5 fiends as you do with 7, then they're going to last longer. The 2 ones do die. You still have the 5 fiends doing damage. So he focuses the Kodo first because it was out of position, and It was almost easy for him to kill. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. Then you want to focus the raiders, because those are the ones that are ensnaring your fiends and really helping to kill them and stopping you from microing them. Death Knight unfortunately gets surrounded here, but the Crip Lord's trying to fight him out. All the units surrounding him are cursed, so it really took a long time for that Death Knight to go down, a lot longer than it would have had they not been cursed. And a nice impale by Crafty there he got pretty much all of the Orcs units, so that helped to count down the seconds those 3 fiends were ensnared there, and reposition them. He's making sure all his units are within statue range, so getting both the statues and the blight. It's just a war of attrition. The fiends are wearing down the cursed units, because the cursed units are so much less effective because they're cursed. Crafty really won that battle. Lynn's units are all in the red, and he has similar food. That's because he's building units right now, and Crafty's researching stuff. He's getting possession, which is probably best against Orc. That's because Orc has all these high food, expensive units, and Banshees are only 155 gold. So basically, trading it for any Orc unit is a gain for you, and especially when the unit is a Kodo, which gives you a beneficial aura and the ability to devour another one of their units. Excuse me. So Lynn's playing it smart. He's just playing the hit and run game with raiders, which is a game that all undeads hate to play. So Crafty's just trying to make the most of his loss, which he is unable to do. Oh, he got a raider. It's not bad, but and that's one thing. I guess that's the only thing I find lacking in this replay. Had Crafty stayed still had a haul at level 3, he would have been able to get more goodies at tier 3. So which would be frost worms and maybe a Pit Lord, which would completely seal the deal on Lynn. He does still manage to win with this extremely strong tier 2 army, but had he had those extra few things, that really would have been like the icing on the cake, or the cherry on the top of the icing of the cake. So so unfortunately couldn't get those things, but those are always options for the Pit Lord. Is really nice to have in the tri-hero with Crip Lord, Death Knight, Pit Lord, because there's all those fat guys in the front soaking up all the damage with the Death Knight to heal them with his aura and his coil, and the Crip Lord has Impale, and the Pit Lord has Howl of Terror, which both really drastically reduce the Orc army's damage output, which is what playing Orc is all about, because Orc has so many beneficial auras like the Kodo and the Bloodlust and the Tauren Chieftain's auras, which are all about maximizing the uses of the units. So if you want to minimize the use of the units, you use counter buffs. So Crafty was teching at his Halls of the Dead. Not his Halls of the Dead, at his expansion, which is a nice trick. You may think it's something really obvious, but if you've never thought of that, it's not something you would think of, I guess.